Hello and welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Thanks for watching. We're here at Interop 2010 in Las Vegas. On our program today is Kevin Wade, who's with Force10 Networks. Kevin, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks, Rich.
So it's been a little while since I've spoken with you. Can you just bring me up to date on what's new and exciting at Force10?
Well, Force10, what's new and exciting? Well, for us, we've had a very active couple of months leading up to Interop, where we really honed and focused our message for our data center customer base. And for us, the company, we're all about data center infrastructure. So we've had a series of important announcements for the company that have been leading up to the show, and so we're happy to be here.
So you want to go through some of those announcements?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'd be happy to. Well, for us, we've been concentrating on the show, both here at the show and over the course of these past few months, on really three topics that are important to these data center customers of ours. The first being what we announced as our Open Automation Initiative back about a month ago now. And Open Automation is our foray into automating the data center network infrastructure in cooperation with some key ecosystem partners to enable the network component of the infrastructure to be more dynamic and responsive to resource needs. For example, if a hypervisor or vSwitch component of the network is needing to move a virtualized server from one pod of the data center network to another, we have hooks into our switching fabric that enable the data center network Ethernet switches to dynamically respond and provide more resources to that to meet that request, move the resources over from one location to another dynamically.
And in terms of the market and buyers and the economy and just technology spending, what have you seen in the last 6 months to a year?
Well, for data center customers, they, I think, had less of a protracted decline than perhaps some other vertical markets, if you will. I would guess that is directly tied to the fact that there certainly aren't less and less people using more online applications, doing more things like software as a service, other kind of cloud computing applications. There's certainly no lessening in demand for bandwidth.
That's right.
And so we have in more or less a built-in growth engine that keeps our segment of the industry a little bit more buoyant than perhaps others. And so I think it came back a little bit more quickly, and we've seen, I think a pretty strong emergence from, the small downturn we saw early part of last year for sure, to the point where, what I would characterize as a high growth mode for data centers.
Now, are there any parts of the world that you're seeing that are showing more robust growth?
Well, we're pretty balanced in as far as seeing growth. I would say North America, we do about 80% of our business here in North America. I would say that it's pretty balanced. Most of the growth is organically here in the United States, but we have seen strong pockets of growth both in Europe and in Asia.
Awesome.
I'd say pretty balanced. Yeah.
It's good to hear. So, in terms of the future, what are some of the things we can expect from your company?
Well, we, being a data center focused customer, we're going to continue to promote and build upon this open automation technique that I mentioned previously. For us, we're also, there's a second dimension of differentiation for us that's very key to our heritage and as an innovator in the data center infrastructure world, and that is performance. So we did recently announce a new 40 gigabit Ethernet plan to roll out 40 gigabit Ethernet in the forthcoming months. As you may know, the standard itself is very close to being ratified and is expected to happen in June of this year. So shortly after that standard is finalized, we're expecting to begin rolling out 40 gig uplinks on some of our top of rack, our smaller switches, and then 40 gigabit Ethernet line cards on our bigger modular products. So that's something that we're looking forward to rolling out in the second half of the year, and as well as always higher density cards for 10 gigabit Ethernet, which is probably the fastest growing single technology or interface technology in data centers. They're really driving the growth for and it just so happens to be the fastest growing portion of the overall LAN market is 10 gigabit Ethernet switching. So we're going to continue to innovate and come out with new offerings in that area as well.
Well, I wish you good luck and lots of success, and thanks for being on the program today.
Thanks, Rich.
This was great.
Yeah, it was.